Hello, hello, everyone. Good afternoon, almost evening, some places. How are you? Welcome to another live stream with Linda and one of her clients. Today is Jamila McMallow, and she is a mindset coach and relationship expert for high performing women and corporate leaders and decision makers and established business owners who are already married or they're married to a good man or they desire to be married to a good man. And I'm excited to bring Jamila on. Hi, Jamila. Welcome back.
Hey, hey, hey.
You know what? I love what I just said. Welcome back.
Yes.
I feel like Oprah. The last time we spoke, you were just marrying Prince, Prince what?
Right.
How are you now? 2 kids later.
I'm
So
fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Thanks for having me back.
Correct. um, the title of this live stream is The Power of the Turbo Funnel in Jamila's Business. And so before I go asking you, this is going to be a different type of live stream for those who are catching me live or even the replay. This video will be repurposed to specifically speak about the turbo funnel because it's really been my secret weapon to help all my clients win. Before I give the microphone to you, Jamila, I just want to say this. Um, every single one of my clients, every single one of my clients wins. I am not the coach that, well, I worked with 12 people this year and like four of them really had good wins. No, all of my clients win. All of my clients win over and over again. And it's the reason why when you go to my client testimonial page, you will see Jamila's interview. You will see her face in a couple of videos because as soon as they win, we interview in that very first win, which is usually when my client was getting it out the mud, right? And then when they're like, they have another win, we interview again. And here we are, $76,000 later, $76,000 and 6 months later. And it's all because of the skill sets and the sales process that Jamila has learned working with me with the turbo funnel. And I wanted to bring her on so that she could take the microphone as soon as I'm done here and share from her heart. And then after that, I'll still ask a couple of questions. But it's really all about you, the viewer, understanding what an amazing sales process in place for your business can do for your bank account. All right, Jamila, take it away.
Absolutely. So, I really am just incredibly grateful to you, Linda, as you know, because one of the things that I didn't necessarily fully and completely understand until I started working with you was the psychology of sales, and that sales truly is a skill set. And that as business owners, we can have this incredible ability to help our clients get results, but we also have to know how to sell or we're not going to get clients. And so that was not something that I had mastered. I had an understanding of it, but I feel like now working with you, it's become something that's second nature. Like I don't even think about it. And a part of that has been the turbo funnel. Because what's so amazing about that is one, right? You have to connect with people. You've got to get to know them. You have to know how to communicate. And you do have to understand how to communicate in such a way that you're moving folks along the buying process. But what the turbo funnel does is it does the rest of the work for you. So it weeds out the tire kickers. It really helps you to see who's interested, who's ready to buy, all of those things. And so when I get on a call with someone, it's pretty much 99, 100% that they're going to become a client. Because if they've answered all those questions, if they've gone through all of those things, then they are, when they show up on the call, they know what's up. They're ready because it's done all that work for me. So that's what I love about it is it's not just like you're just randomly getting people on a call and then you're trying to sell them on the call and convince them on the call, and there's this whole format that you have to follow on the call to try to get their problem and go down hallways and all this nonsense. I remember I learned that in a program once and it's like, what in the world? And then you get to the end and then you zap them with the price, and then you're all the whole time like freaking out because you're trying to remember, oh, what am I supposed to say next, and all this, and it's totally redonkulous. And so that's what I love about really what you helped me to understand is just, number one, of course, sales is service. But when you really get that, when you really embody that, when it just becomes second nature, then there's nothing sleazy, bro, nothing about it. It's just literally you're just helping your clients. And I work with women, so I'm just helping women make a powerful decision. That's it. There's nothing pushy, nothing. They know what's up. And so that's what I love about it. And so if you are a business owner and you've been sitting for months not making sales, because prior to working with Linda, period, I hadn't made any sales for months, almost a year. I had existing clients, but new sales. And that's because my skill set wasn't there to create a sustainable business, a steady flow of clients and leads, etc., an understanding of how things really work so that I could keep it going and have a sustainable business. Do you know what I'm saying? So if that's kind of where you're at, if you feel like you're like, woo, I'm on this great trajectory, and then it's like, boom, why am I in this slump? I don't know how to get out of it. Number one, if you are not working with a coach, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's your number one problem, because a big reason why I didn't sell for as long as I did is because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have anybody helping me to enhance my skill set. I didn't have anybody to help me get out of my own way. I didn't have anyone to help me make the regular mindset shifts that I needed to be making in order to step into the leadership and the business owner that I am today. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're not getting sales, if your business isn't where it needs to be, look at who your mentor is, look at who your coach is. And if you're paying somebody and they're the only person in the room making money, that's a problem. That's one thing I love about Linda is all of her clients make money and a lot of them make more money than she does. So it's like she's not the only one winning off of her clients paying her every month. Do you understand? There are a lot of coaches that do that. And hey, no hate, no shade. But for me, I want to be with the person who is going to show me how I can be successful, according to my business and all of those things. And so that's what you really have done for me, Linda. And I hope that if you're watching this, and like I said, if you're experiencing a slowdown in your business, if you're experiencing a slump, if you're not closing sales, you have to understand that it is a skill set that you need to learn. And beyond that, it's not just painting by numbers, right? Because we've all been in that business coaching program that's given us a template or a script, and you just plug and play, copy and paste. That ain't going to help you because you still don't get it. You still don't get how it works. You don't understand what you're doing. And that's what Linda does. She breaks everything down so you literally learn and master a new skill. And if you can't do that, if you haven't done that yet, you got to do that. If you're ever going to be, successful in your business and have, regular revenue, profits, etc., all of those wonderful things. So, like I said, Linda is amazing at transferring that skill set. How she did it, I don't know. I'm like, how did you, because her program is not like, a bunch of modules, right? Writing worksheets and all. It's none of that. It's just like all of a sudden you're just doing all these things. I'm like, what have you done to me? But she just talks you through everything. And that's the only way I can really explain it. But I will say that the turbo funnel absolutely is very concrete, very strategic, very pinpointable. And when you marry that with the skill set that she teaches you, you literally become unstoppable. And that's no overstatement. And I
Mm.
can't even begin to tell you the relaxed sense that I have around sales now, the way that I just feel about like I know I'm going to make money. It's not even a question. And
Yay.
so yeah, and so you've given me that. Yep.
Ooh, Jamila, you said so much. I was like, let her talk. That's it, guys. We're done. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
That was the bomb. Okay. You said so much. So some of the things I caught were I knew how to sell before. I was in other programs. I worked with other coaches and I had almost a full year of no sales. Here's what I want to point out to the viewer. Just because Jamila didn't have sales for a year. No, let me rephrase that. Because Jamila didn't have sales for a year, Jamila felt broke. But Jamila was not broke. So, one of the very first things that I did is I started to communicate with Jamila. I realized that she was worthy and she wasn't feeling worthy at that time, and that she was resourced and she didn't see how well resourced she was. Okay. There are coaches who fill their programs. They launch a live event once a year, and they fill their program with 30 people at $30,000. And most of those people are struggling and they are broke. I do not work with struggling and broke people.
Mhm.
I work with powerful women who have taken a beating. Their ego has taken a beating because they don't realize it's not that your offer doesn't sell, it's that you don't know how to take a prospect from prospect to from from not aware to aware to I need you to closing a sale. That is a sales process. It doesn't require one script. I never teach my clients any scripts, but all of my clients, including Jamila, are used to being in programs with a script. So, Jamila, tell me, I want to ask you two things. Number one, how did you feel when you started working with me and there were no scripts, cheat sheets, PDFs? Because you're like one of those I need things people.
I'm a student. I can't help it. That's just what I do.
Okay. But you never learned, I'm going to call it the kinesthetic way. I learned by doing, so I teach by doing.
Mhm.
Ooh, my love language is receiving gifts, so I give gifts. Ah, right. So I learn by doing, hands on. So I teach by doing. I don't want to send you a PDF that you're not going to read because I don't read
Mhm.
PDFs. I'm not going to send you a PDF to fill out. You got two little kids. Wednesdays is your only day that you have time. So how was it? Because I know it took a while for you to trust yourself at first, and I'm going to say this for the people that are coaches, because you're a coach too. Some of your clients, when they're not used to your style, they may appear needy at first. They're not needy, they're just needing to be reassured that this process works. So how did you feel when you first started working with me and then it was like, what? There's no there's no script, there's no, what do I say? But tell us a little bit about that.
Honestly, I in a way it was like, okay, well, how do we do this? But then on the other side of it, it was refreshing because it's a relief to not have because I hate that where we have 30 modules and you go through all of this junk and then you get on a call for 45 minutes and wait and never get answered. So I liked that it's like live coaching. That's how you teach is it's all real life. It's like once you what you did is you got me in action. You got me in motion and that's how you work is you got me in motion. Now I'm in the car. And now you're like, okay, go to the right over there. Okay, now get off on that exit. Okay, now speed up 70 right there. Okay, see that red car, move over, get behind. So you're giving direction as I'm in motion rather than just having me sit there in a classroom reading a book and not taking any action. And let's say I'm learning how to drive. Get on the road, let's go. This is how you're going to learn. And so it's interesting that that traditional way of learning that we all got in school and how I've, been conditioned and trained. Yes, I can learn that way, but working with you, I feel like I've learned faster because rather than giving me a bunch of miscellaneous tips and information, you explain the why. You actually teach what's going on. And when you teach what's the why, I don't need anything to reference because you just got me to understand it. So there's nothing, what do I need to reference? You just changed the way I see it. So now that's the way I'm going to do it, if that makes any sense. So I actually, like I said, at first, like, okay. But then once we got going in motion, it was like, okay. But literally, like I've said to you, it's like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just, and you don't know what she's doing, but you're just doing what she says and it's happening. And then one day, literally, you wake up and you're like, what?
Girl, I close to
Who
said
am I?
I felt comfortable saying $25,000 on that call. And the client said yes,
Yep.
right? Because, man, you did not know how to sell certainty. You thought
Yes.
you were selling your program, right? You did not know how to communicate certainty to the buyer. You didn't know what was going through your mind. You didn't know how you were giving off this scent of, oh, the desperation, even though you didn't think you were being desperate, or you gave, oh, the not certainty. If you're not certain, your client can read that and they perceive it as you're not certain in giving me the results that I want. When in reality, you're not certain about selling. You know how to
Right.
get your client results. But
Yep.
because you don't know how to sell, your client doesn't feel security. They feel, she's stuttering, she's stumbling. All they're picking up is uncertainty. And they're looking for certainty that you can get them a result. But your uncertainty in selling repels them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, I don't know how people come to the call and they say they got to think about it. And da, 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 da. Right. So the next question I wanted to ask you was, you worked with other coaches and you had sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you didn't have sales for a year and then you started working with me. I know you explained that, man, it was understanding the psychology, but when did you say to yourself, holy crap, I really didn't know how to sell?
Um, I want to say maybe it was within like a month of working with you, and I started closing paid in fulls, one right after the other. I was like, okay, well, whatever I was doing before, it wasn't this. And because if I really thought about what I was doing before, it wasn't duplicatable, if that makes any sense. It's kind of
It
like
makes all the sense.
you got sales, but if you had to explain to someone how you did it, you don't know. I don't really know. It was like, oh, it was this and oh, it was that. But now it is like you say, it is a literal process and not a script or a formula, but an understanding of the psychology of why and how people buy and how to help people make a decision that's going to help them essentially, and also have a process in place that screens out if they're not the ideal person. Because I don't care if a person's making $5 million a year or $50,000 a year, investing $25,000 still is going to be like, okay, there may be certain things that people have their thing, like mine is food. I don't care how much it costs, I'll buy it. If it's good, if I want to eat. But when it comes to personal development, when it comes to coaching, it takes a while before people develop a sense of appreciation for how impactful that investment can be. And so the idea of, whoa, $25,000 for a coach, I don't know. That sounds kind of, I don't know. And so they have to be helped along that process to understand all the psychology of it and all of those things, those fears and things that. So it's not a matter of they don't have the money. It's not a matter of you not being able to get them a result. It's that you don't know how to communicate to them what they need to hear to be in a position to make a powerful decision. And so that's what you taught me, is how to empower my clients really to make a decision either way, because the turbo funnel is
But
going to weed
make
them out.
a decision either way,
Yep.
because the turbo funnel is a powerful decision. It's a powerful yes or a powerful no. When have you ever heard of like, hell, maybe I want that? There's no hell maybes. Say hell yes or hell no. But yes or yes.
Right.
Like, no, I maybe want those shoes. No, you go to the mall, you walk past a pair of shoes, and then you leave. You didn't buy them because they were 125 bucks, and you're like, oh man, I don't think I want to do that right now. And then you go home and you're cooking dinner for your family, and those shoes are literally whispering, Jamila,
Why didn't you buy me?
and you're like, I gotta go back. Oh my god, put it on this credit card. There was no hell maybe. From the moment you saw the shoes, you knew you're gonna buy them. So like, stop playing.
Right.
you know and so that is what the turbo funnel does for you. The turbo funnel is exactly what car dealerships have in place, but their turbo funnel is in person. Anybody who comes to the lot, I sold cars, not for a long time, but I sold cars, guys. Right? So not anybody who walks onto that lot is looking for a car. People are not like, I'm just window shopping. I mean, true, if you go to the Maserati or some type of dealership, you might be dream shopping, but no one goes to the dealership because I'm just thinking. No, you need a car, right? So the cool thing about the turbo funnel of car dealerships is they're not going to do anything until they run that credit. Then they want your driver's license
Mm-hmm.
because they want your commitment that you're coming back with the car. So there's a lot of commitments that begin the process before you even buy the car. The commitment is, how you doing? Hey, come on in, sit at my desk. All right. Now you sat down. Boom, got you. Hey, what are you looking for today? What brings you in? Oh, whatever brings you in. Awesome. Hey, let's go ahead and run your credit. Let's see where you stand. Because they're not about to show you a $90,000 Durango or whatever it is that you want to buy if you qualify for a $37,000 vehicle. So now they're trying to get you pre-qualified. In the meantime, you guys are in the lot looking at whatever. The guy knows his product knowledge, so he's talking to you about the product. Then you come back, finance is like, put a tag on that car, take it for a spin. And so then they go. In the meantime, they got your driver's license back because you've got to commit that you're bringing back the vehicle. Okay, so you've got several commitments. You came, you sat down, you gave your very personal social security number. Now you left your driver's license, you're driving the car. If you don't know this, once you drive it, it's basically yours. That's why don't touch shoes and don't touch purses. They are yours. Okay,
I
so
test drove my car. 1 week later, it was mine. That
right,
exact car.
that's right. Why? Because once a person touches the thing they are looking to buy, they can visualize themselves in it. Ownership. They just saw themselves driving. They drove it. So then you come back, and now you got to go through the commitment of the whatever hours it takes to sit there while finance till you go home. Even if you do the process online and you get pre-qualified before you go in there, you can't avoid the process of once you go through the door and making it out of that door with your car. So every high end business, a vehicle is a high end sale. A home is a high end sale. No realtor in the world, especially a top producer, is going to show you any homes if you don't have a pre qualification letter. Because realtors make commission. They're not here to stay away from their families to go show you a house and you haven't even got pre qualified. And you're looking at a mansion and you can barely qualify for first time owner FHA loan. We're just keeping it real. So understand that you're in business and you're in business to make money. This is not a dream, a pie in the sky when everyone's like, you can charge whatever you want. You can make money with your dream. You can do that. I don't work with people that think they can make money with their dream. I work with people who have a proven process of getting others results. If you know with your hands tied behind your back and a blindfold on that you can get people results with your service, and you just haven't mastered sales, I want to work with you because the turbo funnel is that gasoline that fire needs, and the fire is your bank account. So understand, high ticket sales are relationship based, and high ticket sales require a selling process in place. My selling process is my methodology, is my thing. It's called the turbo funnel, and it works. I said so many things. I said so many things.
All good, all good.
Jamila,
Yeah.
$76,000 in 6 months. First of all, not only did you master sales, not only did you learn the psychology of what people mean when they're, because the assessment questions are designed so that once you have a few clients going through there, you know the pattern of a person that's going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
There are specific questions in that assessment designed to weed out somebody who is not ready to buy. If a person answers those questions wrong and you continue to have that sales call, then you take away the power of the turbo funnel. The turbo funnel exists so that you recognize who is not ready to move forward today, and you kindly then send them an email saying, hey, it's not the best time for us to meet. Here's what I heard you say. Let me know what I can help you to do this via email. And when you're ready, let's do this process again. Because every time you get on a sales call and you do not close a sale, your ego takes a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
You go, is my service, am I charging too much? Maybe I need to lower the price. What is it? I know so many relationship coaches that are making money with a shitty program where they get no access to the coach. I like just a video course. I know people selling a video course for $18,000. What is it? I got to lower my price because that's the first thing. So we got you to the place where you knew how to sell. You had an amazing sales process that was repeatable and predictable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we restructured the prices of your services. Tell me how that felt when you started, when you were like, I got no sales in a year. What? Paid in full? What? paid in full. Tell me about that because we restructured your prices.
Mhm. It felt good. Honestly, it was like, and I don't know how to describe it other than just to say it wasn't hard. If I think that was the thing that shocked me the most was it was easy. And when I say easy, I don't mean that it was like, oh, it just fell from the sky. Obviously, there was a process, there was strategy, etc. But it wasn't stressful. It wasn't me sending out 5,000 emails or just whatever. It just wasn't about that. It was really about, human connection and just now understanding, then and experiencing that, like, wow, like, really, this is not all I had to be doing, but if I'd have known this, you know what I'm saying, like 2 years ago, like it just, the light bulb went on. And it was just exciting to see that our fear of sales or our um idea of what sales is, because you use the car dealership analogy, and we think about that used car salesman experience, or we think about when we were growing up and how our dad would get when somebody was trying to sell something, you're not taking my money. And we grow up with this idea of being sold to or selling being something that is that we don't want, right? And and so that hinders us as business owners because that's how we're looking at it. And so we make it harder than it actually is, just simply because of our own jacked up ways of looking at it. And so by you kind of helping me to really uncover stuff that I was not even aware of. Because, hey, if you've been in the personal development space, if you're a coach, you're always working on yourself. You're always doing the work. Healing, is in layers. Like you've heard the example of we're like onions, we're always peeling back layers. And sometimes we think a particular area we're good and we might think our problem is over here. But you helped me to see, no, there's still some onion layers here when it comes to sales that are keeping you from doing the thing that's not that hard, but that you got to do, and I'll say this, and I was ready when you and I connected and I started working. I was ready. I didn't have any walls up or barriers like, well, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not. It was like, whatever at this point. you know I was like, tell me what to do. And and I was willing and excited, not like in a drudgery way, but like I was like, whatever, I trust you. And that's the thing, is I trusted you, or I trust you, not past tense, but then and now I trust you. And yeah, and you haven't led me astray. so so
I
yeah.
I love Jamila. What you just said now prompted this thought in me. Man, I remember when you started working with me. I'm very different than anybody else because I run a consulting based coaching program. I don't run a course based coaching program. So most people, when they come to work with me, they are scared for a while because it was a very big investment. It's $30,000 out the gate. That's the way everybody enters my world. Okay. And so Jamila entered my world at that investment. And Jamila was used to, like, I paid, I need to get my money back. I got to do this. I mean, she wasn't saying it like that, but I could hear in her voice around month 2 when she would send me voice clips. She's like, I need to make money. Why everybody's trying to hurry up, man? You can't. That's like having the baby. He needs to hurry up and walk. I got to get back to work. The baby's not going to walk. It's a baby. But we think that. And I have a degree in psychology. And I know that what I teach is psychology based. It's not that BS, neuro whatever, what everybody's saying, all these fancy little words. The neurodivergence, the neuroscience of the psychology, blah, 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 blah. No, I have a degree in this thing. And psychology is, everyone's psychology is different. This is why standardized testing exists in schools. Every child doesn't learn the same. So it lets teachers know which kids are falling behind so that no child left behind. But there's a standardized testing. So I know that the average person, if they just rock with me and fully trust me, you're going to get way more than your investment back. But we are used to Buying a refrigerator. I paid $3,000. I got a refrigerator. Great. The refrigerator's there. I'm happy. There's my $3,000 worth. But that's not how coaching works. Coaching has a return on investment that is forever.
Yep.
Okay. Yesterday, I interviewed Madura. She hasn't worked with me since January. It's been 4 months. She worked with me for 2.5 years. And now, 4 months after not working with me, she's getting ROI on the teachings, on the evolution, on everything makes sense, which is why I love interviewing my clients at every level of their wins. If you implement the turbo funnel in your business, you will have a predictable sales process. And after that, we will master sales together. So, is there anything else that you want to add right now that I didn't ask that you're like, ooh, this came into my mind?
I would just say that if you, like I said, are a business owner and you have not mastered sales, it's not predictable, it's not duplicatable, and you're not broke. And even if you feel broke, but like Linda said, if your business creates results, like I knew that I am the bomb.com at what I do for my clients. Like, try me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can tell me you worked with somebody else and you did this healing. No, you didn't. Come on in here. I can tell you 5 things that were not addressed in that process just from talking, just from listening to you for 2 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
already knew that. So there was a disconnect between that and my bank account. And so if that's where you're at, if you're like, I know that when people step into my container, I'm getting ready to change their lives, but I don't know how to get them into my container, then that's where Linda comes in and she helps you to even see yourself differently, to feel resourced, to see that no, actually you're not broke, to breathe life back into you, because the fact that you're even drawn to her in the first place reveals something about who you really truly believe you are, which is a powerhouse. You are not, yeah, you are not whoever it is that you are beating yourself up and thinking you are. It's a temporary state. And Linda changes your state and
Ooh,
then
come on, Tony
pours,
Robbins.
yeah, pours gas on you and lights a match, and then you're like, woo, then you're off with your sales.
And
So
then I'm like
I
this.
would say if you're on the fence, consider this your foot to the behind to get off the fence
Listen,
and book a call. You have nothing to lose, literally, if you're not making sales.
okay? Don't make me have to take a picture in the lake with a white boho dress, calling myself the sales shaman, okay? With my arms out like this and little birdies landing on me, like, oh, it's the circle of sales.
Mm, mm,
You
mm,
know,
mm, mm.
you know? But truly, sales is a skill that you must master. I don't know how anybody, I mean, and we're not even talking about statistics about Black women owned businesses that the average Black woman owned business makes $26,000 a year, and not even point one, point nine, like a ridiculous nothing is going to make 7 figures. Okay. Latina women in the workforce. I'm not even talking about entrepreneurs. Latina women in the workforce lose $1.8 million in earnings in their entire life because of the gap, the gap in pay.
Mm.
I am here for my ladies. I don't care what you are, Hispanic, Black, brown, white. All women have a gap in pay. All women entrepreneurs start off with a very big gap in pay. And by 2030, it is predicted that there will be the most amount of women millionaires than ever in the history of Earth.
Mm.
I love that my calling and my mission in life is to empower women with money. Socioeconomic power allows you to truly change generations, not your family, not just your family, but the other single mom that's at school, and her daughter needs a uniform, and you have enough for your daughter and hers. You get to impact her. You get to impact those. You get to impact the church. You get to impact the things you love. Literally, I was listening to a live stream with Ed Milet. If you don't know who he is, look him up later. And he was saying, anybody who you've met who is wealthy, at one point in time, their family was not wealthy. And most of the time, the person that you meet that's wealthy is usually the
Mm.
one in their family that changed everything for their family, the one that said it stops with me, the one. That's who I work with. So when I speak like that, I get passionate. Like I always catch myself just like when you're flowing in the thing that you're good at, people can tell. It's not scripted. It's just you're flowing in that. This is my gift. Jamila's gift is to help married women who are married to good men to bring the pizzazz back, to not take him for granted, to grow that thing. And then for women who are single who want a good man to get out of their own way.
Mhm.
They've already achieved the title, they've achieved the degree, they've achieved the credit score, the car, the body, the shoes. But man, you're alone. So my thing is, I don't care what you sell. I was joking today on our group call. Vacuum cleaners, pots, I don't care. You must master sales because it's your way to influence and persuade people for what it is that you want in life. Not because you want to manipulate them, but because them having what you have to offer
Mhm.
is going to change their life. And this is true regardless of what you sell. When you help enough other people get what they want, you get what you want,
Yep.
right? So I love that Jamila said, Linda's not the only one making money. I am not. All of my clients are winning. Today, my client who does real estate, I don't know anything about real estate. She said, Linda, I'm closing my first $2 million deals. She said, I've been working with you for 3 years. I'm going to keep working with you because I keep winning. You must master a sales process. And so, what I want to tell you is that coming up in June 5, I want to say that that is a Monday. If it's not, please don't quote me. I'm almost sure June 5th is a Monday. I will be we will be starting a 90-day program where I'm going to teach you how to implement the turbo funnel in your business. And then we have 90 days for you to master sales. Okay. What I love about the turbo funnel is that it doesn't require any mindset work. It only requires that you do what I'm asking you to do. There's no triggering anything. There's no. There's do this, do this, do this, do this. Why are you laughing, Jamila? Please speak.
Just you being you.
They're like, we're not triggering you, girl. Bye. We're not doing that here. While mastering sales will include you hitting upper limits and facing your own lack of belief in yourself, I promise you that you can borrow my belief while yours is growing because I don't blow smoke in anyone's behind. If I don't think that you're going to do great, I don't even take you as a client. I literally have friend coaches that work with beginner clients who are less, their programs are less. I said less of an investment to work with. If you're not ready for me, you're not ready for me. But most of you that follow me, you are. So click the link in the description of this video or put the link that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen, coaching.lindahales.com. Book your call. When you go to coaching.lindahales.com, you will land on my turbo funnel and you will begin to see how beautiful it is to have a system like this. Every single person that gets on a sales call with me, because not all my clients are coaches or consultants. I have real estate clients, I have therapist clients, I have DEI consultants, and they're like, this was so professional and it felt so structured. I knew you're the person that I was looking for. Okay. And the sales calls, there's no script. I'm not going to teach you how to script. I'm going to teach you how to close a sale within the first minute of the call. It's powerful. And
It's like you
so
take what the others teach and you flip it on its head, and it's just totally different. It's not what you've been taught before. I'll just
it,
say that it's not. It is not.
it is not. And I'm not for fake putting the trademark sign after the turbo funnel. My trademark is in the works. Probably it should be in the mail anytime now. They take about 10 months from the time your lawyer submits it to the time it's out. So I wish you would play around and use Turbo Funnel. My lawyer will come for you. I have a real, not no fake internet coachy coach lawyer. I have a litigation lawyer here in Houston. Please do not come and play with my brand. I love you. I am here for you. I would love to support you in the way that you're growing your business this year and whatever your goals are. God gave you a gift, and that gift is to offer transformation to other human beings. And that gift, you cannot fully unleash it until you master how to sell it. What you do for people has nothing to do with your ability to sell it and everything
Mhm.
to do. That's why you're not selling. It's not because you suck at that. That is your gift. That is your calling. That is the purpose that God created you for. And you have to go learn how to sell it. I know how to sell. I've been a recruiter, top recruiter in multi-level marketing and other schools in my previous job because I was a recruiter for colleges. And I had difficulty bringing that experience to the online space because I didn't understand how to make money online. So I had to master that. Makes sense? I hope it is. I want you to go ahead.
I do want to say this about Linda that makes her unique and special. This did just come into my mind, so I have to say it.
Go for it.
Her background is unique. Linda was raised by two entrepreneurs. So it's not just something she picked up in college. It's not just something she learned from a book. It is literally in her DNA. Like when she came to visit me and I did have my VIP experience with her, she was telling me about her life story and how she grew up and worked in her dad's business and her mom's business and the things that they had her doing. It is a part of who she is. So you're not working with a sales coach that just, oh, I learned this from my mentor and I'm just passing it on to you. It's literally like she's talking to me about her Mary Kay days, and she's just saying, "Oh, no, this is." And I looked at her and I said, "Do you even hear yourself?" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You just told me how to make six figures in Mary Kay in 5 seconds." I said, "People just don't know how to do that, Linda. It's not like, oh, it's just not." So, like she said, everybody has their God given gift, and I am telling you, it is hers. And it is like nothing you have ever seen or experienced before. I cannot describe it, but you have got to work with this woman because of who she is and what she's able to transfer to you, this skill set in a way that, again, I can't explain. It's just I don't know what's in here now. And I don't have a book or a PDF or a course. It's just she just taught me how to sell. And I don't know
Yes.
how she did it, but it's because it's her. It's literally who she is. It's why she can walk into the store. You get on her lives, you hear her telling these stories about how she walks into random businesses. Oh, yeah, well, if you did these 5 things and you'd be making 7 figures. Everything that comes out of her mouth when she says it's 6 figures is literal because everywhere she goes, she's telling people how to sell. She's teaching everywhere she goes. So, I just had to say that you're not like any other business mentor I've ever come into contact with because this is who you are. You didn't learn this. It's just who you are. You were raised in it, if that makes any sense.
Oh my God. So I'll add this. Thank you, Jamila, for mirroring that. And this is why I tell my clients my life is better because you and I are working together. It's not just because you pay me, it's because Jamila is a powerhouse who literally right now on this live mirrored to me my greatness, right? So I'll add this. Growing up with entrepreneurial parents, literally, I picked it up. My father had a thick Hispanic accent, so I was his secretary. And so he made me call businesses to, collect on invoices and just do sales, but I didn't know that that's what I was doing, right? And so then that's number one. Number two, growing up with like the first family, because my parents were preachers. So growing up as the people in the church who everyone else looks up to allowed me to take people off of pedestals. That's something that wasn't taught. I just grew up in that, right? And then the thing that sharpened my edge tremendously was joining a multi-level marketing company in my 30s, where I took the skill sets that I have And I learned to duplicate myself, because in order for you to move up in leadership and multi-level marketing, you've got to make other leaders. And it's not just by telling you, have 5 classes, sell this much product, have these many things, bring 2 new team members. Like, you've got to learn to duplicate yourself. Like, literally, I learned to transfer my skill set onto someone else. And that's why I love that all my clients win. So if you want to crush sales, if you want to dominate the rest of this year, we are at the very beginning of the second quarter. I remember the first year that I made 6 figures. My goal was to make 6 figures, but I ended up making 251,000. Oh man, I was so sad. I started working with a coach in June, and I was like, man, if I could just make 6 figures by the end of the year. Well, I made 6 figures by October. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do for the last 90 days of the year? Make another 6 figure. Because once you know how to do something, you can make it faster. So I'll really end with this. I told Jamila, I'm not going to teach you how to make 6 figures. You made $76,000 in 6 months. Now I want you to make $76,000 in 5 months. And now I want you to do it in 4 months. You know how to make 6 figures. The point is to make this money faster and faster and faster, compressed time. I love you, Jamila. Thank you for your time, for being here today.
Thank you.
Listen, the thing has been scrolling. The link has been scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Book your call or slide in my messenger. I'm a real person. And once you slide in my messenger, we're going to do a pre-qualification conversation. And then you're going to enter my sales process. That's the way it is. And I will teach you to do the same. Respect the sales process, and you will always have predictable sales. I love you. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you. Bye.